These open spaces. Yeah. You know, it's actually kind of relieving, I think, to have in Overwatch on a lot of different maps they've created. Probably the first point is generally a choke point, right? On the vast majority of the maps. But on this first point, they're kind of switching up, guys. Look at this. Massive open space, a lot of different flanking routes. I think this will be probably a big favorite for a lot of people. On res, I mean, it's something I always like rant about, I guess. But like, it kind of makes sense they ask it if I rant about it. But
so, chat, I can't talk about it right now. But yeah, we're definitely looking at Mercy. Mercy's definitely getting some like very interesting and sweet changes.
I'm excited.
And we'll be able to talk about it later on.
TM?
Soon TM.
Got it. I just like made my week. Thank you.
No problem. It's also like possible to like, again, like, you know, we could change like how fast you build up the charges too, you know, if we needed to. You know, there's a lot of different like possibilities there.
Oh my god, that game.
Yeah.
It's a little bit ridiculous. It's fun though, and it's a good.
What the fuck?
So, like, I can't get like, I know chat's been, I've been reading you guys chat. You've been asking a whole lot of like, you know, what are we doing with competitive? Unfortunately, I can't really talk right now about like all the stuff we're doing for Season 6. Soon. Very soon. I'll be able to talk about that a bit more. But we definitely are making some adjustments to try to address that particular issue.
That's exciting.
Right.
That's cool.
So.
Nice.
So there's a whole lot more stats and like literally flooding your screen with stats. I think that's like the tab screen isn't necessarily the best place for that, but that's something like when we implement match history, which we're working on.
Oh,
we'll get there eventually. I
soon,
think that's
TM.
Less soon.
Okay, far TM.
But someplace in between. But when we do get to that, I think that's a much better like sort of. I am dying.
No, you're not. What the heck? Don't die. I need this one trick problem solved.
We're working on it.
Yes. Thank you.
Delicious water. The like negative psychology around it, you know, that the feeling of like, oh,
I have to play this game.
I have to play it. Yeah. And again, like, it is achieving like an important purpose, and that's something. Like right now, I might change it. Like, there's short-term changes that I would talk about, like maybe later this week. And then there's sort of like some stuff in the medium term. I might also like even loosen up at the player's view, but actually be able to like do an instant replay where we can like move the camera around and
like
get
a full replay where you have full control of any point.
Yeah, or being able to go back and say like, hey, all right, you know, this Tracer made this awesome pulse bomb play. Let's go back in time to like look at that, but then don't just look at it from Tracer's point of view, but like move the camera around so we can actually get like an awesome view and see all the carnage, you know, like perfectly framed. So there's stuff like that. Like we're doing a whole lot of like cleanup in terms of like. So we've been pretty happy so far with like competitive Lucio Ball. That was kind of like a very interesting sort of thing for us. It required us. We had to do a bunch of work to, you know, bring a lot of those systems over to Lucio Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, will there be a World Cup? I don't know. I mean, that's the kind of thing if like a bunch of fans wanted to put that together, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool actually.
But, I mean, not for a while.
Steve's team!
Do it!
Yep.
Am I playing with famous streamer Twitch.tv /OW?
Wait, we lost the bitch.
objective than the defense. The defense's spawn time slowly ramps up after a certain amount of time, and we essentially we made a change recently that I think is going out 114 or maybe 2 now before that. That basically takes that time and like we cut it in half.
Yeah.
So we think that's going to have a bit of the impacts because like it's kind of crazy. It's like I think a little bit of stalling is actually sort of exciting. You know, it's like because when you play like the assault maps, it's like there really is sort of emphasis of not just like barely eking out a team fight win, but actually being able to like win it decisively.
Yeah.
Teams are definitely rewarded by that. Like even if they don't, fully take like 100%, they're able to take, huge chunks of it, and that's something that really bad. It's something where I mean, if chat remembers, there was a season where we compressed the SR a little bit. I think it was like season 2.
Oh yeah, it was season 2. Everyone
It was season
remembers.
2. Like we compressed it a little bit. So am I actually on camera?
Yes.
Okay, so chat. There's like this like bell curve of like everyone, right? And season 2, like there's like the bell curve of like the entire population. Everyone's SR is on it. Like the average is like sort of this peak. So imagine I'm making this curve, right? In season 2, we did this, and it was bad. Everyone noticed and was like, "Why are our matches like so bad?" So what the MMR reset is suggesting is like, let's go from this to this, and it would be it would be horrible for.
No one can hide from my sight.
Oh my god, that was fucking disgusting.
Widow, you're the bomb.
Double kill.
So that one's difficult. Again, very difficult to talk about. That's something that we know about all the feedback. There's some things that potentially we could do quietly with the matchmaker that we might like look into. I think a lot of the issues, the kinds of things that I would love to try to address are. I think some of this will help with toxicity, which is I know is like sort of a big thing for everyone. Like, hey, if we can like prevent situations where like multiple people want to play the same character, but then like, oh, let me play this character or I throw. Okay, so if the matchmaker can try to be like, smart about preventing those kinds of situations, that would be a big win.
Yeah.
If we can prevent the sort of situations where no one plays support or tanks, that'd be a big win, right?
It's more of, it sounds like what you're saying is it's easier to do those types of things like slightly.
Dream about that. And the answer is it's really not as bad as you guys think. If anything, the worst problem is the no support main. There's a lot more matches with that, which I think is just as much of a problem. Because ideally, like I think the quality, like it's good for like reducing toxicity. It's also good for quality of the matches if players are able to more readily play something that they're good at. And the more that they're asked to like, oh, I'm like a really good 76, but someone else is playing it. I'll play Reaper. But if you haven't put in as much time on Reaper, you just can't be as good, as someone who plays a lot of 76. So again, long term, don't have anything necessarily like in the short term. It's kind of thing of like we'll have to do a fair amount of like research again, trying to figure out the right way to do things. There's definitely like queue time implication.
People are incentivized to play ranks because they want a golden weapon. Are there any plans to like adjust that reward system in any capacity?
Again, I can't talk about Season 6 too much. But in terms of like from a philosophical standpoint, we really don't want to necessarily like add much, add to it. It's kind of thing of like, ideally, like you should be playing competitive because you want to play that. You want to.
You're looking for like a more serious environment.
Exactly. Being able to like working better as a team together. playing a bit more seriously, etc. That's the reason you should really play playing competitive, not just for the golden guns.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or if we added anything else, which we're not going to at this point, but yeah. That's what
skin in pregame before the match starts instead of at the main menu.
I don't honestly know.
I just want to change it there because sometimes I forget and then you know I forget again. Oh my god!
An excitement cannon just went off, folks.
Oh my god!
See over there.
Jesus. I hope they don't repeat. Oh no.
Anyway, we've asked about most all the time.
Most of them. Let's see. Improve the training room. That's a niche feedback. I've never heard that one.
Oh no, we heard that.
Really?
Oh yeah. No. It's something. So when you say like improve the player room, the training room, I think a lot of it comes down to it's like, hey, is there like a better place that I could really like practice my aim, right? And like some kind of, because I know there's like those kinds of like maps exist in some other like FPSs, and I think it's a great idea, but well, it's one of those like there are many great ideas out there that it's just a matter of like priorities.
Yeah. I noticed. You don't really notice it as much, but I mean, maybe with Deck 44, I forget which.
High.
Yeah, it's very high right now. Are there any plans to add that to the general public?
Not at this time, and a lot of that has to do with like to actually use 100 like those servers. It requires actually like a whole lot of. It requires actually a really good internet connection to like properly use that kind of stuff. I mean, it's something where I think we were able to make the change from like for the server update rate from like 20 to 60, and I think that did a lot. Going even further than that, there's risk for that, and there's definitely some diminishing returns to it.
Yeah.
So, again, without going into all the details about that kind of stuff, so I don't. The answer is probably not anytime soon, but we'll see. Oh my God! One more question.
One more question.
1 minute.